The night was alive with energy and anticipation. It was New Year's Eve in 2000, and the streets of New York City pulsed with excitement. Thousands of people gathered in Times Square, their faces illuminated by shimmering lights and the glow of giant screens displaying fantastic visuals. Joyful laughter, cheerful conversations, and the sounds of celebration filled the air, creating a vibrant atmosphere as everyone awaited the countdown to midnight. Amidst the throng, 75-year-old Frank Romano stood quietly near the back of the crowd. The music of the live concert drifted over him, wrapping him in nostalgic melodies. As he looked around at all the happy faces, Frank felt both part of the celebration and distinctly apart from it. A bittersweet sensation settled in his heart. The cheers and jubilant shouts echoed around him, but his thoughts were elsewhere. Frank's mind wandered to memories of his late wife. She had loved nights like these, filled with music and laughter. He could almost hear her voice joining in as old favorites played on stage. Tonight, with each note, he felt an echo of their shared moments, dancing together in their living room, laughing at silly jokes, and holding hands under twinkling lights. As Elton John took center stage, a hush fell over the crowd. The air crackled with anticipation when he began to play. "Can you feel the love tonight?" Frank couldn't help but whisper softly into the night. This was her favorite song. It was a small prayer to a memory that danced just out of reach, a moment when love felt endless. With that whisper hanging in the air, something remarkable happened. Little did he know that this very moment would soon bridge his solitude to an unexpected connection with those around him. As the vibrant music filled the air, Frank Romano stood quietly, his heart heavy yet full of warmth. At 75 years old, he had lived a full life, but tonight felt different. The laughter and cheers surrounding him brought a mix of joy and sadness. Memories of his late wife, Maria, swirled in his mind like the confetti that would soon rain down to celebrate the new year. Frank gazed around at the sea of happy faces. Young couples hugged, friends danced, and families celebrated together, all caught up in the magic of the moment. Yet, he felt a profound loneliness as he observed the joy surrounding him. It wasn't that he didn't appreciate the festivities. It was that he missed sharing these experiences with the love of his life. Maria had always brought light to even the darkest days, and without her, everything seemed dimmer. He remembered their New Year's Eves spent together, counting down the seconds while surrounded by friends or simply enjoying a quiet evening at home. The laughter they shared over silly traditions still echoed in his heart. Music was their shared passion, and songs often sparked vivid memories that danced like shadows in his mind. As Elton John's voice resonated through Times Square, Frank closed his eyes for a moment. He imagined Maria beside him, her smile bright and infectious. He could almost hear her humming along to the tunes. In that moment of reflection, he felt a connection to her that transcended time and space. Swaying gently to the rhythm of the music, he whispered. This was her favorite song. Little did he know that this small acknowledgement of love would lead to an unexpected bond with those around him, turning solitude into a shared experience filled with warmth and hope. As the music continued to play, Frank found himself lost in the familiar melodies that had once filled their home with laughter and love. Each note seemed to reach into his heart, unearthing sweet memories of joyful moments shared with Maria. The songs were like old friends, bringing back images of their life together, a life woven with smiles, dancing, and shared dreams. He recalled how they would often spend evenings curled up on the couch, listening to their favorite records. Maria would sway gently to the rhythm, her laughter ringing out like a bell as she sang off-key but with joy. They had a special bond through music. It was their language of love. Songs told their story, each lyric a reminder of a moment they cherished. As he swayed softly in the crowd, Frank felt the weight of loneliness pressing down on him, yet he also felt the warmth of nostalgia wrapping around him like a cozy blanket. With every melody that flowed through the air, he saw flashes of their life together, road trips with the windows down, and their favorite songs blasting, slow dances during quiet nights at home, and spontaneous sing-alongs that echoed through the halls. The bittersweet mix of emotions washed over him as he listened. Joy for the beautiful memories flooded his heart, but sadness lingered in the corners, as he recognized that those moments were now just echoes. He wished more than anything that Maria could be there beside him, sharing in the magic of this night, and joining in on the songs they both loved. Yet, as he whispered, this was her favorite song. A small flicker of hope ignited within him. Perhaps tonight was not just about his solitude. Perhaps it was a chance to connect with others who understood loss and love through the same melodies that had shaped their lives. As the crowd grew quiet, the spotlight focused on Elton John, and a hush of anticipation filled the air. Frank's heart quickened as he recognized the opening notes of "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" It was a song that had been the backdrop to many of his cherished moments with Maria. He could almost see her in his mind, her eyes sparkling with joy as they sang along at home, lost in their own world. Caught in a wave of emotion, Frank gently swayed to the music, feeling its familiar embrace wrap around him. The lyrics echoed deep within him, touching on themes of love and longing that resonated perfectly with how he felt in that moment. He closed his eyes briefly, allowing the melody to wash over him like a comforting tide, bringing back the warmth of their shared dreams and laughter. Unable to hold back the sentiment, he whispered softly, "This was her favorite song." The words slipped out almost instinctively, a tender tribute to the love that still lived in his heart. The crowd around him buzzed with excitement, unaware of the profound significance those lyrics held for him. At that exact moment, something remarkable happened. Elton John, attuned to the energy of the audience, paused and seemed to look directly at Frank. With a heartfelt sincerity, he dedicated the song to "A Man Who Still Dances with Memory." The words resonated through the air like a gentle caress, wrapping around Frank like a warm hug. As the crowd turned to him, applause erupted like fireworks lighting up the sky. Frank felt an unexpected wave of connection wash over him, a feeling that while he carried his memories alone, he was not truly alone. In that instant, music bridged the gap between grief and joy, and he realized that love endures beyond loss. As the notes of "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" floated through the air, Frank felt a shift in the atmosphere. The warmth and familiarity of the song enveloped him, but he was caught off guard when Elton's voice broke through his reverie, addressing the audience with heartfelt sincerity. "This one goes out to a very special man tonight," he announced, pausing for a moment that felt electric. "To a man who still dances with memory." In that instant, time seemed to freeze for Frank. It was as if the whole world had faded away, leaving just him and Elton in a sacred space of recognition. The casual excitement of the crowd transformed into something deeper, a collective understanding enveloping them all. People around him turned their heads, their eyes filled with curiosity and compassion. It felt surreal to be seen in such a personal way before so many others. It turned his quiet grief into a shared experience. With each word Elton spoke, Frank felt his heart swell with emotion. The applause that followed was like thunder rolling through Times Square, washing over him as he stood there, suddenly feeling less isolated in his sorrow. There was something powerful about being acknowledged publicly that made his heart ache and soar simultaneously. He glanced around and saw smiles on the faces surrounding him, faces that reflected empathy and kindness. As the music played on, Frank could feel an unspoken connection forming with those around him. Strangers became companions in this moment of remembrance and celebration of love. The audience's cheers and applause resonated within him like a chorus celebrating life itself, transforming his solitude into a moment of unity. It struck him then that this night was not solely about reminiscing, it was also about celebrating the enduring spirit of love and finding joy even amid loss. The music became a bridge that connected his past with the present, letting him know he wasn't alone in carrying those precious memories forward. As the final notes of the song echoed through the crowd, a wave of applause erupted, filling the air with overwhelming warmth. Frank stood there, momentarily stunned by the outpouring of love and support directed toward him. Eyes wide and heart racing, he felt as if the applause was not just for Elton or the music, but a heartfelt acknowledgement of his own journey of love and loss. People around him turned in his direction, their faces beaming with kindness and understanding. It was as if a silent agreement had formed among them, a collective recognition of the universal nature of love and grief that united everyone in that moment. The cheers rang out like fireworks, illuminating not just the dark night sky, but also the shadows that had lingered in Frank's heart. With each clap and cheer, Frank felt an incredible sense of community wrapping around him like a warm blanket. Strangers who had never met him before now shared in his experience, offering unspoken support. He caught glimpses of their smiles, each one a reminder that love transcends loss and connects people in unpredictable ways. The atmosphere pulsated with an energy that made Frank feel alive again. The lonely moments he had felt earlier were replaced with a renewed spirit. He realized that this New Year's Eve concert was not merely a celebration of the upcoming year. It was also a celebration of life's enduring connections, even when faced with heartache. As he stood there amid cheers and applause, tears welled in Frank's eyes, not from sorrow but from gratitude. The crowd's reaction transformed what had started as a solitary moment into something powerful and uplifting. It reinforced the idea that while memories can bring sadness, they can also inspire joy and connection. The night became not just about remembering Maria but also about embracing the shared human experience of love, an experience felt deeply by everyone gathered in Times Square that night. As the night continued and the audience settled back into a joyous celebration, the themes of love, memory, and the power of music lingered in the air like a sweet melody. Frank Romano experienced a profound understanding that evening. Music has an incredible ability to connect people across generations, transcending time, space, and even the pain of loss. Each note played by Elton John carried echoes of stories and emotions that resonated deeply within the hearts of those listening. For Frank, the song was not just a collection of lyrics. It was a vessel carrying him back to cherished moments with Maria, their laughter, their dances, and their dreams. While each person in the crowd had their own relationship with the music, they all shared a common thread, the human experience of love and grief. It was a reminder that the memories we hold dear can unite us in ways we might never expect. As he looked around, Frank could see others swaying gently to the rhythm, lost in their own thoughts. Perhaps someone nearby was remembering a lost spouse, a dear friend, or a parent. The beauty of music is that it allows individuals to express feelings that words alone often fail to convey. In that moment, Frank realized that while his memories of Maria were uniquely his, the emotions they evoked were universal. The concert was a celebration not only of the new year but also of life itself, its joys, its heartaches, and its connections. As the crowd sang along with Elton John, Frank felt a sense of unity wash over him. It was as if each voice harmonized not just with the music but with one another, creating an invisible bond that linked every individual present. Through shared melodies, they were all dancing with their memories, celebrating love lost and found, experiencing joy amid sorrow. That night became a testament to the idea that while grief is personal, the power of music can transform it into a collective experience of hope and resilience. In that bustling crowd, Frank discovered that love truly endures, bridging gaps across time and bringing people together in unexpected ways. As the music enveloped him and the crowd sang along, Frank felt a blend of joy and sorrow wash over him. Each note resonated in his heart, pulling at his emotions and vividly bringing Maria back to life in his memory. It was as if she were there with him, swaying and smiling, her laughter mingling with the melody. This powerful connection to their past made him feel both exhilarated and heartbroken at once. In that moment, Frank realized how music had the unique power to weave through time and space. The familiar lyrics painted pictures of their shared moments, quiet dinners filled with soft laughter, spontaneous road trips where they belted out their favorite songs, and cozy nights spent dancing in the living room. No matter how many times he replayed those memories in his mind, the essence of Maria seemed to flicker brightly whenever he heard their cherished tunes. While the crowd erupted with cheer, Frank found solace in knowing that he was not alone in his grief. Around him, people danced and sang with abandon, each person holding on to their own memories, some sweet, some tinged with sadness. This collective celebration of love echoed through the night, reminding him that while his journey of loss was personal, it was also part of the larger tapestry of human experience. As he swayed gently, letting the music wash over him, Frank felt a comforting warmth spread within him. The performance created a sense of intimacy that stirred something deep inside, a realization that love is eternal. When Elton's voice hit those soaring notes, Frank felt Maria's spirit intertwining with his own, whispering back to him through the melodies. What a powerful gift music was! It not only allowed him to remember but also helped him feel closer to Maria, bridging the gap between their shared past and the present moment. Though he faced grief and solitude, the night reminded him that love transcends loss and that beautiful memories can be celebrated, even in a crowded stadium on New Year's Eve. As the concert unfolded and the music flowed like a river through Times Square, Frank felt an undeniable pull toward the cherished memories of his late wife, Maria. He realized how essential it is to remember loved ones during significant moments, and how music serves as a powerful bridge to those memories. Each note struck a chord within him, evoking vivid images of their time together, the spontaneous laughter, the quiet evenings spent listening to songs they adored, and the dreams they had woven into the fabric of their lives. In that crowd, bursting with energy and anticipation for the new year, Frank recognized that he was part of something more profound. The energy around him resonated with shared experiences. Many people were likely thinking of loved ones who were no longer present. United by music, they all carried pieces of their hearts in those memories, allowing collective grief and joy to float freely through the air. For Frank, remembering Maria became a sacred ritual that connected him not only to her spirit but also to everyone else around him who shared similar feelings. As he swayed gently with the melody, it felt as if Maria was dancing with him once again. The connection forged through music made her memories feel vivid and alive. She wasn't just a fleeting thought, but a living presence he could embrace in his heart. The realization washed over him. Moments like these remind us that loss does not erase love. Instead, it transforms how we experience it. Music captures emotions that words often fail to express. It allows those beautiful memories to resurface while giving comfort in their absence. As Elton continued to perform, Frank understood that during times of celebration or sorrow, music provided a means to honor those we've lost while simultaneously celebrating life. It's in these moments that our loved ones remain with us, through melodies that intertwine with our soul and stories that dance in our hearts, reminding us that love is eternal and always worth remembering. As the final notes of the concert faded into the joyous atmosphere of Times Square, Frank Romano stood still, enveloped by a profound sense of peace and connection. The evening had been an unexpected journey through his heart, a reminder that love knows no boundaries and continues long after loss. In sharing that moment with the crowd, he felt Maria's presence more vividly than he had in years. The combination of music, celebration, and shared memories transformed his experience from one of solitary reflection to a collective acknowledgement of love. He realized that the bond he shared with Maria was not just tied to memories alone. It stemmed from an enduring love that flowed through time and reminds us of what truly matters. With each cheer and applause that echoed around him, Frank understood something deeper. Grief can feel heavy, but it is balanced by joy found in remembering those we hold dear. The warmth from strangers who reached out with their support illuminated the night, revealing that love is a powerful force that binds people together during both heartbreak and celebration. As confetti began to fall and fireworks lit up the dark sky, Frank took a deep breath, allowing the moment to settle within him. He felt lighter, as if the weight of grief had transformed into gratitude for having loved so deeply. Love lingered in the melodies that danced around him, in every note played by Elton John, a testament to life's beauty even amid sorrow. Frank knew he would carry Maria's memory with him always, not as a burden but as a source of strength and comfort. The new year stretched ahead like an unfolding story, one where love continues to illuminate his path, reminding him with each beat that while loss is undeniable, love endures eternally, woven into the very fabric of our existence. In this realization, Frank found hope for tomorrow, reawakening his spirit to embrace life and its endless possibilities once more.